If you are like one of us that sometimes have this urge to buy things that we don't need, then you are in the right place. We will delve into why we are like this, how can we break free from it, and what are the next steps. Why is it that we have this need to buy things that we don't need? First, let's define need versus want. So, for example, if we need to drive a nail into a wall, then we need a hammer. So that's a need. That's a tool that we need. However, if we go out and purchase the most expensive hammer, probably we just want the most expensive good-looking hammer out there, which we don't need. If you're not a professional doing this on an everyday basis, maybe we don't need the most expensive hammer. Maybe the most affordable one will be good enough. So want is something that we don't necessarily need. It's a nice to have. And look, if you have a lot of money and you can spare some change for the most expensive hammer, that's fine. But if you are living paycheck to paycheck, or you need to really look carefully at your budget before buying things, then the most expensive hammer won't work. Why is it that we want to buy things that are not necessarily needs in our lives? These days, there are so many ads, whether you're watching TV or whether you're on social media. Constantly, we are bombarded by ads. People look good in shirts, in sneakers, in dresses, handbags. You see how happy they are. They are among friends, and want to be like that as well. We think if we get that product as well, perhaps we will have many friends. We will have a perceived social status better than what we have without that product. Maybe so, maybe not so. But these are the things that drives us to buy things. Some people say also that whenever they buy something, it's instant gratification. The thing is, it's great instant gratification, but then it doesn't last too long. Afterwards, we're back to square one, that we have again this need to go out and buy something in order to feel good. Again, if you have money, you're able to spend without thinking about covering your basic needs, covering your rent, mortgage, food. If you don't have this worry, you're not living paycheck to paycheck, that's great. That's fine. You can go out and buy things, right? Again, there's a limit. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck, you need to provide for your family, then this is not the best way forward. If we're living paycheck to paycheck and we keep spending like this, buying things that we see and we want, and we're constantly buying things, it is not sustainable. It will affect us personally if you're living by yourself, because guess what? At the end of the month, when you have to pay that credit card, you may not be able to pay it, and you will be stuck with a high interest rate debt that you can't pay. Also, if you have a partner, that may sour the relationship with that partner. Family, kids. How can we avoid all this? Well, first we need to assess what is a need, what is a want. Every time you are in that situation that you have this urge to buy something, take a step back and assess. Is this something that I need or something that I want? If you can analyze this every time, of course, in the beginning it won't be easy. We might assess and still go out and buy it, even though it's something that you just want and not need. However, the more you keep on doing this, the easier it gets. And then at one point, you will be able to say to yourself, well, this is a want. Today, this is not the best time to buy such an item. You have to keep on doing it. As I mentioned, it's not easy. And I just want to be clear here. I'm not saying don't buy anything. We are all working hard, and we need to celebrate our successes as well. So whenever we have a success, if it makes you feel good, if this is how you want to celebrate your success, which is fine, then yes, go and buy something, right? Go and spend. Whether it's a movie, it's a latte, it's a handbag, it's a sneaker, you've had a success, go and celebrate. But just be wary. If you have successes every week and you're spending big time on these successes, you might be back to square one where you're just finding excuses in order to celebrate. Maybe you're having a lot of success, but you need to spend sustainably. So to wrap this up, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, then First thing is you need to save. You need to save money for your emergency fund because it's not sustainable to live paycheck to paycheck. If something happens tomorrow, it might become a big challenge. First of all, try to save so that you have an emergency fund. Second is, every time you have this feeling to buy things, just think about it. Ask yourself, is this something that you need or that you want? And based on that now, make the decision. Don't forget, celebrate your success as well. It's not all about saving and not enjoying life. It is important to celebrate your success. I'm not saying not to spend at all, but I want you to spend sustainably so that you can have an enjoyable life.